Central Minnesota Sports Hub. It's the Morning Sports Desk, presented by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and streaming on YouTube.
Morning Sports Desk on a Wednesday, the 5th of February. I'm CJ Baumgartner, Corey Tackman over there. Corey, a lot to recap from our games last night, so let's dive right in. Park Region Conference boys basketball, not for all the marbles, but the winner of this game definitely would be in a good position for the conference. Henning and Pillager, give us all the deets, spill the tea, whatever else the youths of the day are saying.
Well, there's it was a story of the first half, really, and to be fair, this was a game between the top two teams in the Park Region Conference boys basketball, the Henning Hornets and the Pillager Huskies. Henning undefeated, Pillager with one loss. So while it's true that if Henning would have won the game, that it would have made everybody else's journey through the PRC much more difficult to try to earn a share of the conference title. For Pillager, they would have given themselves a chance at a tie probably for the title. Henning ends up winning the ball game, but like I mentioned, it was really a story of the first half. I know high school basketball in Minnesota isn't played in quarters anymore, but it's sometimes is easiest to break it down those 18-minute halves into quarters. And the first 9 minutes, the first quarter of basketball, Pillager on the road had a 21-20 lead at that 9-minute mark of the first half. They shot the ball well. They're big and strong and athletic. Their big time player, Christian Hoagie, had 6 points like right out of the gate. And 4 of them were from the free throw line. He was 4 for 4 to start the game from the free throw line, and then another bucket. And it just kind of everything was coming up Pillager, right? In that game. But Henning just didn't ever panic. And over the final 9 minutes of that first half, went on a 23-4 run to take a 44-24 lead at the half. Final score ended up being 73-57. So it stayed kind of within that margin. The closest Pillager got in the second half, I think, was 11. But it was just a timeout was called. The Henning Hornets came out in a press 1-2-2. They got stops. They kept just making buckets. Pillager missed a number of bunnies. There was a dunk that was missed, and then a couple of layups right behind it. And then I think in the first half, they had 3 shots within a combined distance of probably 6 feet from the hoop, and none of them went in.
Ugh.
The missed dunk led immediately to points. And it just felt like it just sucked the life out of the gym for the Pillager Huskies. Now they tried to make a run in the second half. It got close. And if you talk to Huskies fans, they were not really thrilled with how it worked out and how it, kind of transpired. But the Huskies had a technical foul called against them. So it gave Henning 2 consecutive possessions in a row. And in those 2 consecutive possessions, they scored 7 points. So there was a foul on a shot, or there was a foul that was a 1-and-1. Noah Umland made both free throws of the 1-and-1. There was a technical foul called. So then Umland, who just made 2 free throws in a row, got to shoot the 2 technical foul free throws. He made those 2. Henning got the ball back. Tegan Bierke got a bucket and 1 and made the free throw. And it started to feel like, okay, hey, it was in that 11-point margin, right? Like, hey, if they can get some stops here, keep getting buckets, they can get into this by the end of the game. And then the foul and the tech and the free throws and the made bucket and the foul and the free throw, and it was over. I don't remember at exactly what point that happened, but Henning just Henning just does what Henning does. They are really good at getting you out of sync and out of rhythm. And turns out a 24-3 run over a 9-minute stretch doesn't hurt either.
No, not at all.
So Henning now officially in the driver's seat. It's going to be really hard for them to not win the Park Region Conference now. Of course, the conference season is not over yet, but Pillager is the number 2 team in the conference with 2 losses. So for Henning to not win this thing outright, they're going to need 2 more conference losses somewhere on the schedule, and those look few and far between.
Yeah, it looks like Henning, it's kind of just a formality now. They just got to pick off a few more wins. How many more conference games are on the schedule? I don't have that number in front of me, but we are into February. So, over the next couple weeks, Henning just has a chance to kind of clinch this conference. And yeah, they still could have had a chance to win it no matter what if Pillager would have won last night, and then Pillager would have had a chance at a co-conference title. But this year, Henning has a chance to win it outright again, and they just have to pick off a few more wins to kind of officially clinch that here. Flipping things over to another Park Region Conference boys basketball matchup in kind of the middle of the PRC, Wadena, Deer Creek, and New York Mills competing. Corey, we mentioned this yesterday. It is the Highway 10 Challenge, and then the Highway 10 Challenge, the Highway 10 Cup, the Highway 10 matchup, whatever you want to call it. They call it the Highway 10 Challenge, and they play for this big old trophy. The Wadena Deer Creek Facebook page put it out yesterday on kind of what they were playing for. It's a cool looking trophy. Got a little basketball on top, big and tall, perfect to kind of showcase and have a whole team carry around. And they were playing for it yesterday. Now, the way that this Highway 10 Challenge works, and I was talking with Coach Thunberg on kind of the origins of it. And what he said is then Eagles head boys basketball coach Mike Bowney said, why don't we do a traveling trophy? And Coach Thunberg agreed. And they kind of talked about the parameters of, last year it was when New York Mills was the home team. This year it was when Wadena Deer Creek is the home team. Next year it'll be when New York Mills is the home team. And what they do, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, varsity C team, varsity JV team, varsity team, they all play and they all tally up the wins throughout the day. And whoever has the most goes home with the trophy. Last year, by the time the varsity game got around, it was already decided Wadena Deer Creek was going to take it home for the first time in the rivalry. This time was a little closer. So these are some scores provided by Coach Thunberg of Wadena Deer Creek. He sent me these before the game yesterday, just kind of filling in on what was going on. In the 3rd grade game, Wadena Deer Creek won 19-8. 4th grade went to New York Mills 22-21. 5th grade went to Wadena Deer Creek 27-14. 6th grade also Wadena Deer Creek 39-22. 7th grade also Wadena Deer Creek 43-22. 8th grade went in favor of New York Mills. Don't have a score there. C team score: New York Mills 30, Wadena Deer Creek 21. JV, don't have the score here, but that was also in favor of New York Mills. 7th grade, Wadena Deer Creek 43-22. 8th grade won there. Looking through all of these here, but basically what it means is it came down to the varsity game, and both coaches kind of knew that going in. They saw the score of the JV game at the time, looked like New York Mills was going to run away with it, and you had a chance to talk with both head coaches pregame with Coach Thunberg and Coach Zach Christensen, first year at the helm of New York Mills, talking about, this is fun. New York Mills got to walk in as the 4th graders were playing. So the 7th and 8th grade, Corey, were playing at the middle school, at the elementary school, where the middle school games technically take place. But the elementary school games got to take place on the varsity gym floor. And then it led right into the C game and the JV game and the varsity game. And so if you're Wadena Deer Creek, the varsity was watching all those elementary games and giving them high fives after they won. New York Mills came in as the 4th grade game was happening, and they got to, see them play and get to cheer them on and stuff like that. And it's what that's about. And it all came down to the varsity game. And the varsity game was fun. There was a lot of scoring that took place between both of these teams. Wadena Deer Creek started out with a slight lead, and then about 6 minutes into the game, New York Mills grabbed the lead, and they didn't give it back for the rest of the night. So looking at kind of final scores here, it was a 2-point lead at halftime, 40-38. New York Mills was in front, and then the Eagles go on a 16-6 run to begin the second half. it looks like they're jumping out. They're going to take control. And then with about 9 minutes to go in the game, the Wolverines go on a quick 10-0 run. Kobe Snyder, a big reason why he finished the night with 30 points for Wadena Deer Creek. And then they were just able to get it within 1 and just drop into 30, like casually. Whenever they needed a bucket, Corey, Kobe Snyder was just, give me the ball. I'm going to go to the rack. I'm going to drive, make a jumper in the middle of the lane. We need a basket. Put the ball in my hands. I'm going to find a way to give it to us. They would get it to within 1, and then New York Mills would go on another run, and they just kind of were, the number escapes me, but basically enough to where they were able to pad out that lead late, and they were able to hang on for a victory there, something along the lines of 77-71, or somewhere in there. It was a high-scoring game last night from the Wadena Deer Creek Middle High School gym. Both teams average around 56 points scored per game, and they well matched that and more last night. It was a fun game, back and forth. Maybe isn't the right way to describe it, but it was competitive. Wadena Deer Creek would knock on the door, and every single time New York Mills had an answer in that ball game. And really just a great performance for New York Mills. They spread the ball around. When we started the second half, New York Mills had scored 40 points, but no player was in double figures yet. They had a lot of guys they had like 3 or 4 guys with 8 points, however that math works out. The point is, like, they were spreading the ball around. They got things going. They had some juniors working it. They had some freshmen working with the basketball. And talking with Coach Christensen in his first year at the helm, he was the JV coach before that, said, they were 1-26 a year ago, and now they're 6-11 this year. So they feel like they've made that improvement. They feel like they're gritty. They like to play defense. They did a great job crashing the boards last night, and they just did everything I think that they needed to do to win, to kind of eke that one out and grind through. And now they got themselves a big win here, kind of QRF moving up in kind of that 6A North, which is very stacked at the top, but has a lot of wiggle room kind of in that bottom to middle part for some fluctuation there. So a big win for them last night, and they got to take home the trophy, which was really cool as well. And they were all taking pictures. They had the elementary school kids who were still wearing their jerseys on the floor, taking pictures with them after the game. And long-winded way of saying, these trophies are fun, and those moments are why you do it.
Yeah, I hope that we can find a way to be a part of that in the future. Yeah. I think it's a really neat event, and I mean, you said it. It's stuff like this is what high school sports and high school rivalries are all about, and it's all good natured, but it's for real. It's like a serious thing. Promise you, those third grade coaches we're talking about, like, it's important for us to try to do our part here today, and to be a part of that in a big way. I also like the camaraderie and the what's a good buzzword here, like the synergy it can create within the program, let alone, like, forget about the rivalry stuff, which is awesome and the catalyst for all of this. But now you're talking about letting third graders root for the fourth graders and all the way on up, and everybody kind of pulling for each other. There is a, the cliche is like you're trying to build a family in some of these sports programs, and this is just a beautiful way to do that. And you do it by rooting for each other, and so you have this built-in thing where you have to root for each other like that. I think it's I would love to see more of this stuff. I really would.
Yeah, it's awesome. And talking with Coach Thunberg before the game, he said, I'm an elementary school teacher. As my class was getting ready, he said kids were excited all day for it. They were ready for it. They were jazzed up and ready to go. And that's what it's about. That gym was buzzing when I got there. It was the JV. I got there a little later, a little past 6 o'clock, 6:15-ish. The JV game just started, and the gym was buzzing already. Elementary kids were running around the walking track. Parents were there. It was fun. It was a fun atmosphere. New York Mills fans were there. They travel well, but just a little extra. There was Wadena Deer Creek fans are there, but just a little extra more because the elementary kids are there and because it's for this cup, and it's just a fun way to build an atmosphere. It was a really fun gym.
A winnable game. Like that's everyone thought they could win that game. And that makes that makes people show up more too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
cheered or played for teams where you're like, we don't stand a shot tonight.
Like, now, where are you going to play? This place? You know what? I'm going to find a reason to not go.
Not a lot of extra people are showing up to those games.
Right. The Wadena Lions were there serving some pulled pork sandwiches. Delicious.
Cool. Nice.
Before the game, like to kind of make it a big event too. They were giving away they were raffling off some Wolves tickets at halftime.
Very cool.
Yeah. So there was a lot of stuff going on at the gym last night, which was really fun to see. It's a Tuesday night, early February. Why not have something like this and make a little fun with it? So that's a cool rivalry. Props to the ADs of Wadena, Deer Creek, and New York Mills for making that happen, and the coaches for both those schools. And just overall, everybody kind of all teaming up to make this. It's a lot of moving parts to make this happen with a lot of elementary programs to make everything work out like that. But it's really cool. So it's awesome, and props to everybody for making that work. We got some stuff to talk about here, Corey. It's Wednesday, so we got the nickname game. We have some other stuff coming later in the show. Before we do that, we do need to remind you on Sports Cow on Facebook is a great place to check out all the local sports stuff. We try and share a bunch of news there, give you some updates on our games. We share clips of the sports desk on there. The other thing is that we've kind of shared what's going on within the local happenings. So let's go back to kind of earlier in the week. It was announced for Monaga that they had a few players go on to the next level. So they said Zach Davidson and Joey Cole committed to continue their athletic careers at the collegiate level. Zach Davidson will be attending Concordia College in Moorhead next fall to wrestle for the Cobbers and get a degree in computer science, while Joey Cole will be attending Bethany Lutheran College in Mankato to play softball while getting a degree in exercise science. So first off, it's always cool to see those kids make their college commitments. We say this on the program all the time. We never got to play collegiately, so it's awesome that these kids get to be able to. And the fact that it doesn't matter how big or small the college is, to make a big deal that one of your kids is going to go on and play collegiately should always be celebrated.
A hearty moo on the Sports Cow for Zach and for Joey. Especially excited. This is just a personal thing. For Bethany Lutheran, because that's down in my old stomping grounds neck of the woods. So it's pretty exciting for Joey to go experience that part of the world. Congratulations to the two of those. Continuing on the sports desk, we want to congratulate United North Central wrestling coach Oyster, who was named the conference coach of the year. And you'll see on the Sports Cow, there he is on top of the podium at a tournament in OTC with that coach of the year plaque raised high above his head. Coach Oyster and those UNC Warrior wrestlers have another really just stellar season. And Coach Oyster kind of the what's the word I'm looking for here, CJ, when you're the head coach, the figurehead of that program.
Yeah, figurehead, the right word. I was going to say kind of the spearhead, like it all starts with you. And we, by the way, Coach Oyster, friend of the morning sports desk.
Indeed, he is.
We talked with him last year when they got to go ready for state, and he talked about all the different names that help make that work and kind of all the people that help make UNC wrestling tick. But of course, he won't say this, so we will. He's the guy at the top who kind of gets that thing rolling and is in charge of making sure that those people are put in the positions that they're put in to do the stuff that they can do. So yeah, congratulations to Coach Oyster there on that achievement. And also props to him for taking that picture. He looks stoked in that one.
Way to go, bro, I think is how you're supposed to say that, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so.
Broseph, maybe?
Yeah, that works.
How about did we go back to the 31st of January? Was that did we announce that? Park Rapids area Panther senior Rylan Fogarty is going to attend the University of Wisconsin Stout.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Play volleyball. So another area collegiate athlete. Again, congratulations to Rylan and to David and to Joey. A big hearty Sports Cow moo, extending your playing careers. Very exciting.
Moo. All right, Corey. Before we get into some of the other stuff we need to talk about, why don't we thank the good folks at Pizza Ranch and the FunZone Arcade in Wadena, proud sponsors of the Morning Sports Desk. What's going on there?
Well, I will say, rumor has it, it hasn't been confirmed yet. There's a birthday in our house today, and the rumor has it that the supper choice from the person whose birthday it is today is the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. And
wise choice.
Yes, it would be. And I mean, look at that chicken. Look at from the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade's Facebook post. Describe Pizza Ranch chicken in 3 words. This might be a cop-out, but it's very, very yummy. Good enough.
Delicious, delicious, delicious.
Get in my belly. Can we say that?
Yeah, I think so.
Pizza Ranch, obviously an unbelievable buffet. Stop in today to enjoy your chicken. Get double points on a Wednesday. Get that chicken, get that mashed potatoes and gravy, get some corn, get some your fresh veggies, check out the salad bar, and of course, unbelievable pizza options as well. And maybe you're going to be there celebrating a birthday today. Celebrate in the FunZone Arcade with all those great game options and prize options waiting for you as well. Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena, bringing us today's edition of the Morning Sports Desk.
Okay, so let's play the nickname game, and then there's a little bit of news in the fast food world that I want to get to. So first, let's do the nickname game. As always, on a Wednesday, we play the nickname game where we go to Basketball Reference. We find some NBA players that are in the news or Timberwolves adjacent or what have you, and we and Corey try and see who they are. This is trade deadline edition.
Oh,
the trade deadline is tomorrow at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So that is and I believe that's Eastern time. So 1:00 here. So yeah, or somewhere around there. Tomorrow afternoon is the trade deadline. Rumors are buzzing everywhere. Julius Randle, by the way, out to about 2 weeks for the Wolves. So that might hurt any trade chances for some teams. We'll see. But there's a lot of stuff going on around the NBA. Kyle Kuzma going to the Milwaukee Bucks.
He got hurt on purpose. Kuzma's with the Bucks now?
Yeah, he got traded to the Bucks for Middleton and a couple others.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Middleton might be washed.
Yeah. So that was a move that's happened today. Of course, we're waiting on Jimmy Butler, Kevin Durant trade news. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff going on. You know, will Julius Randle be traded? You know, will Luka Doncic be traded? You know,
can I ask a question about trades?
Sure.
This is a thing I don't know. For example, the Twins, right? They signed Danny Colomb or whatever his name is.
Column A, Danny Column B, you take your pick.
But oftentimes with trades, it's the same with free agent signings. They're always pending a physical.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Is passing a physical and making a trade true or not true, or happen or not happen? Is that a black or white situation? Or do teams get to decide if it's something that they want to take on or not?
Like,
for example, the San Francisco Giants decided that they did not like Carlos Correa's physical, right?
Right.
Why they didn't sign him to all that money. Is that a black or white? Do they just have like a checklist and a threshold? And if you don't meet the certain threshold of health, we're not going to sign you, period? Or are teams like Luka Doncic, for example, who's been hurt this season and it has not been healthy? Are the Lakers are you allowed to forego the results of the physical because you want to have Luka long term?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a way, because you talk about certain thresholds a person has to clear. It also depends, because every team, it's a different team. Every team has their own set of doctors.
So I understand it might be subjective within the team, but is it a hard, listen, man, that knee is not going to be good in 3 years?
So if the Lakers got Luka, and they were like, ooh.
Doncic. It's Luka Doncic, and for the next 2, you get to have him at 30 a game and 35 in the playoffs. maybe you still take the shot. Like, that's what I'm wanting. Is it is it a subjective pick, or is it a hard black or white? If they don't pass the physical to a certain degree, we just automatically move on. It doesn't matter who it is.
Well, I think Luka, there definitely was a physical, but I think the Lakers knew he was injured. So obviously, like, there's a little bit of like, it's hard to fully assess because he's hurt. So, whatever. But I think at the end of the day, yes, there are some hard and fast stuff. I think if he would have got there and taken a physical and would have been like, whoa, this guy's ankle is pudding, or this guy's knee is like about to fall off, they'd be like, we're not doing this trade.
Sure.
But I think everybody kind of knows that. And this is why teams sometimes get access to medicals or like free agents. Like, remember Carlos Correa's agent, Scott Boras, was sending around like x-rays and stuff like that, or like his medicals of like, look, my guy is healthy. Like, before you even sign him, like, just easier stuff. So like, my guess is with that Luka situation specifically, they knew there was some stuff messed up, but ultimately they're like, look, man, we just gotta, this is a formality. You just walk in, you get your heart rate, we'll take your blood pressure, and we're going to bang the little thing on your knee, and then we're going to call it good. So like the Twins with Correa, obviously, it was a different team doctor that saw Correa than the Giants or the Mets, but the Twins were like, yeah, we see that there, but we are willing to forego that risk. So maybe the Lakers do see something there, but and in other circumstances, they would go, you know what, we are going to forego this. But they're like, yeah, he's hurt right now, but we don't care because it's Luka Doncic. Also, Luka didn't get traded because of this specific injury. It was the fact that the Mavs thought he was fat and they were tired of his attitude. So that, like, it was more that than this specific injury that caused them to trade him.
Okay, I didn't mean to derail the whole thing, so let's go ahead and play this game.
All right, the nickname game. Here we go, Corey. Number 1, Don Julio.
Next clue. Is there another one, or are they dead giveaways?
Here we go. Beyblade.
Beyblade,
like the Japanese anime meant for kids in the early 2000s. They just spun tops.
That makes it sound like maybe a defensive guy, sharp elbows kind of guy.
The next nicknames I have will give it away.
Okay, this is a trade deadline guy.
This is a trade deadline, Timberwolves adjacent. This is kind of trade deadline.
That doesn't. Eastern Conference. I have no Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks. Final answer. Do we have a Dylan Brooks on the scoreboard?
Beyblade. John Morant.
I will. Okay, so I will give you the next one. Big Jew. J-U. Not another spelling. I felt like I should say that.
Not Big Jew, like a big Jewish guy.
Yeah, like Josh Rosen or something like that. Yeah.
Wow, that'd be an amazing nickname, wouldn't it?
That would be. Like BYU has those kids that are named the Mormon Missile or whatever. What's the guy, the BYU quarterback? He was Jewish. He had a nickname. I can't remember what it was, but it was something. Oh, it was called BY Jew. That's what he. Yeah. That's what it was. They were doing it, not me. I'm just acknowledging what they did. But
you're fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, then it's got to be Julius Randle here, right?
Other Beyblade is the one that confuses me the most, but
I don't like any of those. Those are dumb.
Orange Julius made a lot of sense when he played in New York.
Sure did. I would have been all about that one. Is Julius Kentucky?
He played at Kentucky. Yes, he was from Prestonwood Christian High School in Plano, Texas.
Okay.
First round draft pick by the Lakers in 2014.
That's right. Yeah.
Played for the Pelicans in 2019. He was a part of that trade for Anthony Davis at the time. And then played for the Knicks for 4 years, and now with the Timberwolves. He also went by King Julius.
Okay.
It's just tough to do a King nickname in the NBA if it's not like a George or like
James.
Yeah, exactly. You just also have to compete with LeBron. That's just a tough one.
Correct.
Okay, next one. The Matador.
So do you go with a Spanish player?
You could.
You go with like
Also goes by El Matador.
El Matador. So here's you could go Spanish. A part of me immediately thinks not good at defense because the Matador just lets the bull run by, right?
Right. Yeah.
Hey, you're letting people lay by you all the time. That's probably not good. Timberwolves adjacent. That's always a part of this. Is this a current player?
These are all current players today.
Okay, so it can't be Ricky Rubio then.
No.
But it's Timberwolves adjacent.
Timberwolves are trade deadline adjacent.
Or trade deadline adjacent.
Yeah.
Is this person Spanish?
Got to be nickname related.
What do you mean? That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't give you a hint on that. I can only give you nicknames.
Why not? I have no idea. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to guess.
I'll give you another nickname. Cool Hand.
Cool. So let's see. Is it Luka then?
Luka.
What do you mean? It's not. It's okay. Okay. It's either Luka Doncic, who got traded because it's a trade deadline thing, or it's Luka Garza because it is a Timberwolves thing. Luka Garza is not in the trade rumors. So Luka Doncic, the biggest trade in NBA history.
Luka Doncic, the Matador, El Matador, despite the fact that he's from Slovenia. Slovenia. El Matador, Cool Hand, the Don, Wonder Boy, El Nino Maravilla, Swaggy L, Luka Legend, Too Easy, Luka Magic.
Too Easy's good. I like Too Easy.
Too Easy because, I mean, it's too easy for him. It was too easy for him when he played the Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals. Oh.
And then watch him not make a single one of those shots in the finals.
And then just yell at the refs the whole time, and Brian Windhorst just absolutely bodies him in a post-game rant.
Deserved it.
And by the way, Windhorst said, when I did that, there were no pushbacks from any Mavericks. No Mavericks people were texting me like, hey, man, lay off.
It's why he got traded. Because his attitude sucks. His attitude sucks so bad he gets to go play for the Lakers and with LeBron James.
Moral of the story, have a bad attitude, kids.
Moral of the story is be a jerk. It will probably pay off.
Yeah.
What a joke.
What a joke. Yeah, that's it.
People who are like diehard Luka fans, they're not fans of anybody. They're like, I root for whoever Luka plays for. Like, that's your guy. That's who you're cheering for.
Feels like you're targeting somebody specific here.
I am. And I think he's an idiot for it. I think it's the stupidest take. You're a fan of a player before a fan of a team.
There's a lot of LeBron fans out there.
You can be a LeBron fan, but you don't get to be a Laker fan because you like LeBron.
That's how it goes.
You grew up in Springfield, Ohio. You are a Cleveland fan. That's how this works.
By the way, Devin Booker, they asked him about the trade news because like there was the shot of like Kevin Durant and Booker were like on the end of the bench, like hearing the news about the Don because they're in the middle of a game. And then they're just sitting on the end of the bench, seeing on one of the bench guys who's in street clothes is like pulling up Twitter and being like, you guys, look at this. Yeah. And Booker's like, I don't know, man. They mentioned Luka got traded. And I was like, what? Luka Garza? Like that was his first Luka to go to?
Yeah. Because it would make way more sense.
Right.
It makes way more sense for Luka Garza to be traded.
The Wolves like the game before. It's like, oh, they traded Luka Garza.
What do the Timberwolves need to do to get Austin Reeves?
I think just ask nicely.
Randall back to the Lakers.
Yeah, I think they'd take it.
Third redundant 3/4 who needs the ball in his hands at all times.
Yeah, no, the Lakers would love another one of those.
I will say this. I thought for sure this was like a Laker instigated thing when the news first came out. And now it is so clear that it was a Dallas instigated thing, and I think they're idiots for doing it. But it is. That's what it is. It is a Dallas instigated thing, which makes me feel better on behalf of the Lakers. because the Lakers will be like, yeah, we'll take this guy and be good for the next decade and have a contingency plan. But it seems it was weird in the moment. I thought this was a Laker thing, and in the moment, it's a weird fit, man. It's a weird fit.
It's a weird fit, and it has some people wondering, like, are they ready to move on from LeBron? Like, are they? First of all, they're not. They let LeBron have his kid there. Like, they're not gonna like.
They haven't done. I've seen other arguments. They have not allowed LeBron to just run the show here. LeBron didn't know about this Luka thing.
Wow. Right. Well, and to be fair, like, they kept it on the down low because they didn't want it getting out.
Right.
Anywhere, which is dumb if you're the Mavs. Why you wouldn't get in a bidding war for Luka? Why you just dumped him off to a Western Conference rival?
Yeah, I don't know. It's all very stupid.
It's unless you feel like Luka's gonna sabotage that team from within or something like that.
You already think he has been. That's why you traded him. That's why you wanted to trade him. You think he's been wrecking your
and you're like, go do that to the Lakers now. Like, go mess up the Lakers internally.
Yeah.
Go mess them up. Go have fun. Get in peeing matches with LeBron. See how that's gonna work out.
Right.
So anyway, all right, one more on this list today. I can't remember if we've done him before or not, but fits the trade deadline, fits the Timberwolves adjacent since they played this team in the last couple weeks.
De'Aaron Fox.
No. Green Room.
Green Room.
The Servant. Easy Money Sniper. The other few are going to give it away.
The Green Room is a nickname. The Servant is a nickname.
Yes.
Easy Money Sniper is a nickname.
The Green Room would make sense for this guy's first team. But this team does not employ those colors anymore.
I don't know if that's helpful. Who used to be green but isn't green? That doesn't make sense.
Let's just say that the city is green once they change their colors because they left.
Who left? What were the nicknames again?
The nickname was Easy Money Sniper, The Servant, Green Room.
What team? A team left? A team moved?
In the NBA, yes.
How recently?
The most recent.
Who moved? What team in the NBA moved?
Well, New Orleans moved to Utah. The Lakers moved to Los Angeles.
Vancouver
moved to Memphis. It's not the most recent. Happened in about 2007.
Who moved in 2007?
They went southeast to a place that made them feel like they were at home. You could say it was a heartland move.
Why am I not understanding this? Who moved? Who used to be green? I'm waiting for you to piece it together here.
Oh,
I mean, I got the teams now. It's Seattle to Oklahoma City. Those are the teams.
Current player.
Green Room. Okay, but so it's a Seattle, Oklahoma City, but he got the nickname Green Room. So there's only one person in the league who's left who played for Seattle, and that's Kevin Durant.
We got you there. Otherwise, Durantula.
I love Durantula. Love Durantula.
Kevin Durant, or like KD. Slim Reaper.
Yeah, Slim Reaper is also awesome.
Slim Reaper is the best nickname.
He's just lucky he came along when he did, because otherwise that would absolutely be a Wembanyama nickname.
Uh-huh.
The Slim Reaper.
I mean, why they just don't call him ET for Wembanyama is just beyond me, because that dude's an alien. But they want to go the extraterrestrial, probably because Steven Spielberg has royalties on the acronym ET or something like that, and he's just gonna hound them at midcourt.
No.
Like he's got like instead of a swear jar, it's an ET jar.
Yeah.
Anytime an announcer says it, they just got to put in a quarter.
At it. Yeah, those are all. Some of those nicknames are dumb, but some of them are good.
All right, last thing on this order of business for the sports desk today. Did you know, Corey, that the Shamrock Shake is coming back?
I'd heard tell of this potentially happening.
Yeah, it's almost March, or like March is the next month on the calendar or something like that. But it also means the return, Corey, of Uncle O Grimace.
What?
Uncle O Grimace is coming back.
Uncle O Grimace?
Yeah, it's a McDonald's character. He's Grimace's Irish uncle.
He sure is.
He was created for a McDonald's commercial that promoted green milkshakes, which are called Shamrock Shakes and available for a limited time around St. Patrick's Day. Uncle O Grimace. This is on the McDonald's wiki.
Yeah. Why did he go? Why you said he's back?
He's back, yes. So if you look, I'm pulling up here like kind of the recent marketing. You've seen like pictures of this that have kind of.
Jeez, I have no recollection of this in my life at all.
I'm trying to see when he first came out. It was during, I believe it was sometime during like the Reagan administration. So like we're thinking like early 80s.
Grimace or Uncle O Grimace?
Uncle O Grimace.
Came out during the Reagan administration?
The mid 80s.
Are you serious?
Uh-huh. There is a reason why he is not why it is not in play for him anymore. So I'm gonna basically they had Uncle O Grimace, like other McDonald's characters. People could dress up in them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so in Philadelphia they did one, and basically with that, there was a guy in the Uncle O Grimace costume who was going a little too much into the Irish part of it, where he started talking about IRA sympathies. And McDonald's said, we're pulling the plug for a little bit.
We gotta get that guy out of here.
Yeah, and said some other things that I can't say on the sports desk, but
3 decades they got rid of him.
They just phased him out for 3 decades, yes.
And now he's back.
Now Uncle O Grimace is back to give you Shamrock Shakes.
Back in the age of the internet.
Yep.
This is gonna go well.
Well, now the Mets have a great St. Patrick's Day theme.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I mean, that's yeah, cool. Shout out McDonald's.
Shout out Uncle O Grimace. Hopefully he's gotten past his whole wishing bad things to happen to British soldiers and stuff like that.
That's my my favorite Irish joke is, what do you call an Irishman who lays around the pool all day?
What do you call him?
Patio furniture. Just saying, you got to have one lame joke about every subject, don't you?
You got to have it lock, stock, and barrel ready to go. To one, make some random guy go, oh, and then to make your wife in the room go.
Yeah.
To make her want to not be standing next to you.
By the way, I didn't feel good saying that joke. I just want you to know that is the joke. That is the thing I know. I'm not giving you any more on that. Who do you call Irish guy who lays around the pool all day? Patio furniture. That's it. That's the delivery.
This soul died saying that joke. I hope somebody laughed. This is the Morning Sports Desk powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. See you next time.
Powered by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Follow the Morning Sports Desk on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And watch every show on YouTube.